Good morning. How's everybody this morning? Yeah, so we have it's a gap down from the close, but it's not a true gap because it's not outside Friday's range. So indeed it is a gap down. The way you go is it's a gap from the close, but we're still inside Friday's range. So pretty much the same prices you were paying Friday, you're paying today. Like I said, we had a high close on Friday, and this allows the traders who got caught short under 75, 71, you can see they've been covering all night, higher, higher, higher. And now this 75.86 where we are seems to be some support. That's the level you're going to look at for liquidation on the bottom is 75.86. Add that to the top, it will be 76.01, 76.04. If we open, do not be surprised and don't get mad. We might trade between 86 and 76.01 for a little bit. Okay. It could be choppy. We're going to be opening inside Friday's range, right? Yes. 100% TBD. When you open inside the previous day's range and the previous day's cost basis, actually, we're a little bit under cost here. So if you actually look at Friday's cost basis, you'll see that it's right here. So we're just underneath it. Either way, the market's going to be a little bit slow because it's a Monday in the middle of summer, right? So how do we trade it? So people who are looking for a trend trade might be a little disappointed. But don't worry, there's still money to be made in the back and forth. Right? A little while ago, we had a beautiful look below and fail of 75.89. That was really nice. There's some decent trades on an inside it. Let me show you how to go and trade them now. So where is it? Right. So our overnight point of control is just under 7,600. Oh, what am I forgetting? Sorry, it is Monday. Hey, welcome folks on YouTube. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Some stops on the half-hour candles. You can see those. I really think we'll just kind of go sideways here in this area. Maybe test 88.5 on the bottom, but just back and forth here. I don't think we have any major news. I know the war is back on, kind of, maybe, hopefully not. Please trade the chart. Okay. I'm this week in our execution lab. We're going to talk about a few more subtle things. Like, how do you anticipate when you take a trade whether you should be holding more or not? Right? Well, first of all, Jonathan, hey, how you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Number two, it's an inside day. It's slow enough to not change price drastically, right? No creams and makeup here. There, pre-market, you can see there's a bid here, eh? See? There was a bid at 93 earlier. That bid's moved up to 93 and 3/4. So this is how you map out an open, right? How you map out an open is pre-open. You go and you mark where the bids and the offers are. How do you know? The bottom of the candles are where the bids are. The top of the candles are where the offers are. Very simple. Mark that out. And then when the market opens up, just chill and watch and see which one gets taken up. Now, what did I not say, Jonathan? What I should have said also, and one thing to remember is that inventory is 100% short. Now, that's a market profile thing, which means 100% of the trading is underneath the close of Friday. So if inventory is 100% short, we should, with quotation marks, yeah, 60 to 70% of the time we get a move higher to correct. So let's see if that happens. In this market, I don't know if you notice, sometimes it takes time to correct inventory. Sometimes if inventory is short, we'll go down for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and then correct back up. Or vice versa, if inventory is long, we'll go and distribute for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then correct inventory lower. Those are subtleties. Those are subtleties that are not a lot of people, including myself 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, I wasn't aware of them and verbalizing them so you guys could follow along. But we have to evolve and grow and get smarter and get shrewder, right? We have to. So these little subtleties in a market, they will really make a huge difference in your earnings. You saw some videos from looking at inventory from the previous trading sessions? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Now, were those my videos or there were someone else's? Either way, it doesn't matter. The thing is, how are you going to put it together? How are you going to trade it? Also, the good thing about that question, TBD, is say you have a bias, right? The biggest thing I've seen with bias is, okay, if you're biased short, like here, when the market broke here, you see, when it broke this level, you had all this inventory long above it, right? Are you with me? Cool. Now, so you would expect continuation because you had quite a bit of inventory long over 75.26. But inventory was above, only one quick day, boom, and you get that up move. Because when you lowered price, it brought in buyers instead of sellers, right? That's the market trying to tell you something. So as much as you look at the inventory from the previous few trading sessions, it might guide you wrong. You know why? Because inventory is one thing. What's the other thing? Order flow. So if inventory is long, right? You've got a cost basis long here. When it broke, it technically should have gone lower, but that did not happen. Why? Because the order flow did not support it. There was a lot more buying. Because when you put it on sale, brother, when you put this on sale, it was like you had that Black Friday sale at Walmart where everybody starts banging away, rushing the store, trying to get out, trying to get in, sorry, to buy. So do you understand what I'm saying? You can use order flow, but you must always be on the lookout for the order flow. You can always use inventory, but never discount order flow. And order flow is just a fancy way of saying, is there a lot of buying or a lot of selling? How slow is business? How fast is business? That's all order flow is. It's the flow of customer traffic into the store. A little choppy here. A little choppy. I'm seeing bids. I didn't even have my DOM up. I wanted to buy 7,600 area, but I didn't. I missed that. You snooze, you lose. That would have been a nice couple of points. Exactly, Milo. Our POC is based on volume. We also look at the time. We don't discriminate. Use both together because it takes time to accumulate volume and it takes time to get rid of the volume. Get it? Okay, long 2 selling. Holy zip. Look at that. I'm long 6 at 2.5, and they're just taking them off me. I'm selling them like I stole them at 6. That was a nice trade. Okay, cool. You use them both. Oof. Right to 9. Yeah, look above and fail. Yeah. Look above and fail, and your stop's going to be 9, of course, if you're short. Now, it should backfill a little bit, maybe to 3. I shorted 5. I'm covering 4 and 3.5. And that's it. I'm done. I only had 2 contracts. Damn. Yeah, there is a standard deviation there. Yeah. I don't put the standard deviations on the chart because there's just too much crap to look at, right? They're here, so you're aware of them, right? You know there's a standard deviation at 12.3. VWAP's right there, right? So now, if you're still short, you can stay short. I'd be looking at 7,600, of course. Nice big round number. Oh man, I'm seriously. It's funny. Every time I'm on and then I just get off and then run outside. It's like 80 degrees here and like beautiful sunny weather. We haven't had a cloud in the sky for like 4 days. So now we're taking this and we're selling it up here. Okay? And I told you guys at Globex, if you go and look at the Globex recording, once again, not to be I told you so kind of guy. I just want you guys to make money. That's really why I do. Right? I said we're going to take all of this and we're going to sell it up here. And that's what we did. Then we put it on sale and that brought in buyers. You see that? Very simple. Yes, Doug, market orders are rude. What does Raj say? It's not cricket? Okie dokie, what's next? Well, for us to actually have a real inventory correction, we try and get up to 76.20, 76.26. Yeah, excuse me. Exactly. Uh, all right, so there's still a seller at 9.5. Oh, by the way, I am using the balance levels from Friday. Since it is an inside day, I was lazy, right? I'll have to admit, I've been hanging out with the kids, and by kids I mean 40-year-olds. And I was a little lazy this weekend again. I figure I'll do a roundup. Do you guys feel like working this week? Because I'm looking for people who invest for longer term stuff in equities. Reach out to me. I need some lab rats for testing out my. I'm doing this series on how to invest like a villain. Yeah, Pollux, we're in distribution right now. We loaded up the trucks. The loading dock and warehouse is under VWAP, under 7,600, and we're at the first stop here, just trying to get rid of. Right, a little distribution, a little back and forth, 2 to 6 maybe. Right now, I want to see if we can hold that 2 bid. See, the way I look at companies very differently than you guys do, because I've taken companies public. I've spent a lot of time with CEOs, CFOs, shareholders. Some companies are like well-oiled machines. These people really know their stuff and they work. And then there's some companies that are, they're like that lazy cousin or brother you got, And they're always looking for a cheap way out. So they're not making a lot of money, so they issue a lot of stock to institutional investors at a discount. You buy a stock at $20. Next thing you know, it's trading at like 6 for like months. Why did that happen? How did that happen? Could you have known when you buy these deals? Is there anything on the chart that'll give you a heads up about the health of a company? Well, there is. There's a ton on the chart. Let's see what happens, Milo. We just opened for business, man. Don't be too eager. You're going to scare away the customers. Just relax. Right? Milo, you need to move to BC, right? You need to move to Vancouver, Milo, where nothing happens on a Monday and nothing happens on a Friday. So you got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to work, but Monday, everyone's kind of recovering from the weekend. Friday, everyone's gone Thursday, right? Nobody works on Friday in Vancouver, right? You just need to chill into that. Be a little bit more chilled out when you're trading. It'll be good for you. Let's see what the cat drags in. You know what I mean? Thank you, Nico. It's okay, Moran. We'll fix that. Just relax. Remember, it's summer, not proper. See, now there are ways that I look at a company that you guys don't. You know when Tesla first ran from $300 to $1,000 the first time? When old Muskosaurus went on Joe Rogan and smoked a joint, everybody thought he was nuts. And the first thing I said was he's pulling a Hudsucker proxy. He's trying to make himself look like a crazy person so everybody shorts the stock. And indeed, that's exactly what he did. Then he had Bailey Gifford buy it all. The old CEO is a nutcase ploy, worked like a charm. 3 times. 3 times, my friend. Things like that. So I look at stuff very differently than other people do. Now, things that are a little bit more normal is when you look at a company and see how they spend money. Do they spend money like drunk sailors on shore leave, or are they fiscally responsible? How are they turning over their earnings? Are they really paying themselves a lot while their shareholders are sucking wind? There are some companies where the CEO pays themselves millions of dollars while the stock does nothing but go down, right? The homage to the Stutz auto squeeze. Exactly, Roche. Exactly. Right. Hey, Keith, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't have the YouTube chat up. Sorry about that, guys. My discipline is, see, this is another thing. Make sure you guys take advantage of this. When you do a lot of sort of self-awareness stuff, you have to do that when you're a trader and you don't have a boss. Because you don't have a boss going, hey, idiot, what are you doing? You have to do that yourself. So I have this kind of checklist. I miss things. Like that long off of VWAP. I should have been long 96. Right? That was an obvious trait, but I was talking. So my discipline needs work. Right? Thanks, guys. And Jem, if you're listening, not yet, soldier. Not yet. I've already figured out the problem, Jam. Don't worry, we'll talk later. Oh my goodness. Okay, now it's coffee time. So Milo, now it's coffee time. Brian Shannon. I like Brian. Brian's a good guy. So now it's a little slow. See how they're watch the offer. Do you see how we took this and we sold it up here and we put it on sale, but we haven't broken this level? And yeah, the candles are. So now we're just waiting to see if more customers come in so we can do that, or do we have to put it on sale to try and bring in new customers, right? See, everything we used to do by hand is now done electronically in a split second. So like the algos will sense that that bid keeps refilling itself, right? And they'll lift the offer. Pretty cool stuff, right? You know, it's like a Porsche that can shift 4 times in the time that you can blink your eye. You know, that crazy technology. So there's a bid right here at 94. Myself, I'm looking for this 88.5. I want to see if we stay over that. It's kind of a big level for me, just in this area. I'm not really going to do anything right now until we get down there. Yeah, if you look at those old short squeezes, uh, Rocco, you'll see that the operators would get the shorts so upside down that they would have to get the New York Stock Exchange to halt the stock. They'd they'd just pull the stocks, so the shorts would have to go and they'd have to cover and do what they call a securities purchase agreement off exchange, because the exchange would always side on the shorts because they wouldn't want their brokerage firms going out of business. Look at that bid, eh? 95 to 7602 in like 1 minute candle. So we found the bid. Remember where I drew that blue line earlier? Yeah, there it is. See? Bid, 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 bid. Right? Now, what I should have done is I should have been buying 96, stop 94, sell 99. Right? But that's okay. Now, we're going to have sellers here. Where is that? Right there. So if you're long, we need to break 7603. There'll be a little bit of traffic in the fours. And then your next sellers are going to be up here at 6. So now you know the stops on the subway, right? Can you chat about the open if we break it or not? Well, the problem that we have breaking the open is VWAP is kind of hanging around. You know, Milo, like when you're talking to a really, really pretty girl, but then your buddy who's an idiot's always hanging around, messing it up. That's what VWAP's doing right here. So it's right above the open. So we can't get down there, right? Right? That's the sort of, you know, That's the sort of wrench, the monkey wrench in the works right now. So until then, we just go back and forth in this. We're still distributing. We're still selling this stuff here. Not as high, but we're still making a little bit of a profit, right? VWAP definitely got in the way. Well, there's a seller at 7,600. Let's see how aggressive they are. Boy, that order book is thin. That order book is really thin. It's like 10, 20s and 30s. Very NASDAQ-like, right? Very NASDAQ. Let's see if we get some buying. I told you it'd be choppy, didn't I? Sellers always wait to sell at their previous price. If I could sell it there before, I'll sell it there again. Especially if I sold volume there, right? That seems to be a price where people are big buyers. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything about that, Paulius, but I think that's quite funny. That 566. I bet you as soon as we get close to it, it just pulls. uh, these markets are very, very, very precisely mechanically traded. It's quite a thing. Now let's see. I think we're going to go test that 93 bid again. Here you go, Milo. We're going to go test the open. I know it's just one order. Yeah. Here we go. I'll be looking for a look below and fail of 89.5 if we can get there. Come on now. Here we go. Oh, just got to be patient. Wait till it gets down there. Be a few bids here. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Come back down. Come on, be normal. Yeah, definitely front ran that 89.5. Let's see what happens in the next candle. I want to wait for the next candle and see if where the seller is. Wait for it. Sometimes you just miss them. Damn it. Come on. Come back down. There you go. There you go. Come on. Had a 92 bid there. There was just no way they were giving me any product at 92. Good luck, JJ, they said. Let's see. I'll wait for the next candle and see if we can stay above VWAP and we can go long a little bit. I'd really like a look below and fail of 88.5. These big candles, just watch your risk. Just watch your risk on these things. Still a seller under 93.5. Let's see. There we go. Cleaned up underneath the open. Yeah, long 94.5. Out in the 97s. Thank you very much. Take them. I don't want them. You can have them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Flat. When you flush out a market Milo, it's a lot easier. Uh, you know, it's a lot easier to take a market higher once you've flushed out all the inventory. I went long 94.5. Right here when I saw the bottom of that candle not coming down to the bid. That's when I went long, and I was out by 97. Yeah. When I'm long, I sell them like I stole the damn contracts. Like I can't get rid of them fast enough. That's how I've been taught how to trade over 34 years. And you don't lose money doing that. Now, a lot of people say you should hold trades longer. But when you have candles this big, you have to kind of understand the operating environment that you're in. And if you're a slow trader, you might, if you're holding trades and you're a slow trader, uh, you just better really be on the ball, right? I'm a big fan of scalping because scalping gives you the trade management skills you need when you're holding positions, building positions, because you've trained yourself, you've completely trained yourself to sell into strength and you don't have to think about it. The 94 stuff that we're long, if you're holding it, I'm still selling a few. I still got a couple for sale here at 99.75. Hell, they even took me at 7,600, right? So that way you can come in and out. If I was still long 94, I was out by 97, but say I had a second lot and I would wait and I would sell. I knew there's going to be a seller here, right? So I'd still be selling, right? Remember, we never corrected inventory. Inventory is still short. There are a lot of people who are short from Friday who you just saw come in and start covering under VWAP. Quite spectacular. We should have some selling around 7,600. That's normal, right? So offer yourselves out at 76.01, 1.25. See if you get taken, right? If you're long multiple contracts, if you're offered at a quarter, I see it's just printing the ones right now. No, so there's a seller at 76.01 half quarter, moving down, competing at 7,600. No, inventory has not corrected, Milo. I don't consider inventory corrected until we get close to Friday's close at 76.26. I'd give it maybe 2 periods, right? And if it hasn't corrected in those 2 periods, then you know that, hey, there's something changed. What we're trying to do, Milo, with all this nonsense that we talk about, long inventory, short inventory, if it's surfing an EMA, whatever it's doing, right? All we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out change. We're trying to figure out change so we can change the direction of our boat if we need to. That's what it's all about. Oh, hey, Jonathan, the execution lab will be about subtle, subtleties. One of my guys just messaged me. He was long 75.90. Where the hell was he long? He was long 75.96 on some size like over like 50 contracts, and he just blew them out. So well done. He doesn't talk in the room, but there you go. Took the same trade with a lot more size and held it longer. Yeah, exactly, Dougie. Exactly, right? So the execution lab, Jonathan, will be about subtleties, things that you see that would help you in business, like noticing that there's a bid there and then it moved there. So that's why we were going long here into this strength, because that liquidating volume taken into wholesale hands, redistributed into the retail flow for profit. Milo, this is what I'm talking about. Look alive. We're correcting inventory, my friend. As Raymond Reddington would say, Milo, wake and bake. It's time to get to work. Okay? All right. Look above and fail of 7609 again? Yeah. See, we did get it the first time, right? We got that rotation down. Right? Look above and fail, rotation down, rotation back up. Let's see hey, I wouldn't mind just doing this all day. I could trade that. I'll be happy with that. Right? Now let's see if we can, yeah. The thing is, if we stick over 7610, that kind of rotation theory kind of goes out the window. The inventory is underneath us on this second move down. Let's see. So far, to me, it's looking like a look above and fail. Let's test this on the micro. Shorting the fives, stop 6.5. Put in some bids at 4 and see if I can get hit. Oh, come on. Short 5.5. Filled on 3 on the way down. Filled at 3.5 on the last one. Yeah, not the greatest trade, right? A little look above and fail. Thing is, Jimmy, you guys weren't there when I screwed that trade up a million times, right? And I still screw it up. Like you'll hear me go, "Oh crap!" It's like, "Ooh, sliced it," right? Like the golfers say. Sometimes your execution isn't that good. Like today, I'm okay. I'm not really, you know, I'm kind of mediocre today. No, 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 no. My short was right here. Do you see, Nico? My short was this white line right here. So I was short here in the fives, and my stop was just right here, 6.5, 7. I'm cheap. I'm really cheap with my stops. See, for me, stops are a business expense. So I was taught by like savage old men to be cheap, right? You know, a lot of times people are like, "Oh, the market's really volatile. I have to use a bigger stop." For me, it means just trade a little less and try and be a bit more. Well, try and be faster. I think we should all be working on developing our execution speed. I think that's something that a lot of traders don't talk about. I think we should be practicing. Like you should know your software. You should be able to manipulate your trading DOM and like your software. Like if somebody put a blindfold on you, you know. Well, okay, that's going a little far. But if I tell you right now, 75.98 bid, 97 half stop, by the time I'm finished talking, putting out that sentence, you should have those orders in, right? You know, so I go 75.97 bid, 96 stop. The orders should be in by the time by the time I finish speaking. Those orders should be in the system. If you're fumbling around, last week I did a session with one of my guys, and we noticed that when he was putting orders in on he was like he was taking like 60 seconds or 30 seconds to place an order. I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not nothing good is gonna come from that. You have to be able to execute quickly and precisely. We'll talk about that in the execution lab as well. And those are things that you guys should be actively working on. Let's see, Milo. Let's see. I'm hoping maybe we get down to 90 again. I'm looking for a full rotation down. So far, it has been a rotation in the purple zone. Not bad. Let's see what happens. Now, if we can't get to this blue line, see there's a bid right there. Do you see the two candles have the same bottom? So the sellers sensed buying and lifted the offer. The buyers will move price up. They'll chase. They have no choice. Now let's see where they sell into it. Do they sell into it here? Rotation's beautiful. I love markets that rotate because it's just like boing, boing, back and forth. It's just nice and relaxed. Trade them back and forth. It's not a big deal, you know. Excuse me. Oh, there's the blue line. Ha, told you to wait. I like a full rotation. I like a full rotation. What time is it now? 3. Come on. Come down to 89. Don't be like that. Ah. I want us to see a nice trade right from the edge, you know? There's a lot of people short from Friday, Milo. There's a lot of people who also added to that short during the night. I mean, the headlines really make you want to short, right? The headlines really screw with your head. That's why I read the news now, but I don't look at the chart. The chart is one thing, the news is another thing. Exactly, right? Two totally different things. Oh, this is where you got to be patient. Why do you have to be patient? Because you're waiting for an edge. Oh, come on. No, not yet. No, I'm not long. Wait. Come back down. Come under 94. Quit being like this. Don't be weird. Oh, this market is so weird. How many people shorted it again? That's the problem with this market. So many people short the thing, it's impossible to push it lower. Like the more people short a market, the harder it is to push it lower and lower because there's just bid. You know, it's crazy. Okay, so we got sellers at 99.5. Oh no, we don't. They're seeing buyers. Ah, I wanted to buy 97. I should have bought 98. That's what you get for being cheap. Sometimes you miss out. Like I said, my discipline's not the best today. Yeah, another rotation. Look for your seller at 7603 right here. Yeah. Let's see what the spy's doing here. 752. Yeah, every time we look above 7601, we come back down. Let's see what happens today. We can even get above it. There's really no reason why this thing should be like going higher and higher, other than the fact that nobody's selling. Nobody's selling and everybody's short. How to keep a market higher? That's the problem, right? Everybody's short, which is holding the bid, right? And nobody's selling. So anytime anyone comes in and you blow on this thing, it goes higher, right? Because there's nothing for sale in Tuscany. Now the DOM's starting to fill out again. It's starting to get, well, I mean, there's 60s and 70s, better than 20s and 30s. But what a strange market this has become now. It has become such a thin book. Quite surprising. What's going on with the cool kids in equities? Uh, Not much. Oof. Apple 320. Gee whiz, look at that. Okay, we're in serious chop here. Up the old Mag 7 chart. Wow, look at Apple go. So now Apple is above lifetime cost basis. 26. Unbelievable. So we're looking for 326.22 on crabapple there, folks. And ES is just hanging out. I don't know about hawkish and dovish, but I do know that Apple's at it's an all-time high, and that all the inventory's underneath it now. You could walk that thing to $500 a share, and nobody could do anything. People are going to discover. Well, actually, they never figured it out. Unfortunately, people never figure it out. But when the price of something is over the cost basis, it's very hard to push it back down. Especially when the people who own that stuff at higher cost basis, I mean at lower cost basis, you know, like people are positioned in Apple at like $40 and $50 for the long term. They don't trade that stock every day. It's got like 6 inches of dust on it. It hasn't moved in like 3 decades. Very different, very different business conditions that we're under now. I wouldn't want to be a short seller on a career basis these days. Tough way to make a living. Yeah, I've had a couple of good trades in Globex. Not bad. I mean, now business, you notice the candles are getting a little smaller. The pace of trading has slowed, right? This is like when I always say it's usually like 10 minutes into the second half hour. I call it the algorithm smoke break. So when the algos all go outside the building and have a cigarette, business kind of slows after that initial back and forth, right in kind of in the middle of the range here. Cisco, whoa, hello, big order. The order book just emptied out. Oh my goodness. Stay out of this, folks. Don't try and jump into this. Dropped and froze. Obviously, that's a headline. Welcome to wartime markets. I told you guys that this, I told you it was going to be like this. I told you 3 months ago that this is what it was going to be like. I told you change was coming, volatility's coming. So luckily, we were like, I'm not doing any work here. There's nothing going on. So we're all flat. But had you been long and that order, oh my God. We saw that last week too, didn't we? Did we not see this exact same thing last week? Was it Friday or Thursday? I'm going to get you to explain it, Milo, because I've explained it a bunch of times to you. You actually answered the question in your question. So when news hits the tape, the order book just empties out and the price drops. Right? So how I'm going to get you to operate now, I don't care how you operate. I want you to now answer the question. So now that's where you're going to learn. You're going to learn by talking about it. You've heard me. I can talk about it because it's just, but come on now. right? Just take your question and put it into a statement. That's all you got to do. That order book went to ones and twos. It was 50s and 60s at every tick. When that news hit, it parted like the Red Sea. It went to ones and twos. Exactly. Found the bid where they bought it. So they just stopped selling. They just sold it all the way down. And now it seems to be back. And while everyone is wondering what the news is or why that happened, the people who've instigated that maneuver have already made 50, 100, $2 million bucks. Now let's see how it trades after that. So we tested the open. We tested everything but the overnight low. We've gone down to cost basis and popped right back up, right? Don't worry about that right now, Milo. The mechanics of the instigation is beyond your comprehension at this point in time and actually it will make no change to the amount of money you make right now. Focus on the trade setup. Focus on when to trade, when not to trade. The mechanics of this move, I can explain it to you, but it's not going to make you any money. And you're going to waste a lot of mental capital trying to understand how this all happened, right? The mechanics of that big. Don't worry about it. Now looking for a look above and fill of 89.5. Or if we get back above 75.93, you'll look for longs up to VWAP. But if you're selling this area here, right? If you're short 88, if you're short the 88s, your stop should be about 90, 90 and a quarter, right? You don't want to spend more than that on a stop, right? So it looked above, and I'm still waiting for it to fail. I need more sellers. See, right now it's not acting like a fail. See? That's what we want to be focusing on. Where's the next trade? Where's the next opportunity? Do we get another rotation after a very deep flush? Can we hold 88.5? And if we can, right, the trade I'd want is 88.5 up to VWAP. His tweets really do clean out inventory quite nicely. You know? His tweets are really they're like a Hoover. Well, I saw an article that his Schwab account is trading like gangbusters. Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay, before we get into trouble. Now, can we get over 88.5? I'll buy a little bit if we can clear the 90s. I'll take 90 to 94. 91 to 94, something like that. I'll be good with that. Easy now with the political stuff, guys. I don't want to just get into trouble. Stay on topic. All right. Still not ready to go yet. I really want us to catch a bid over 90, but right now it's just not ready. There's still some sellers under 88.5. There we go. Now remember, there's going to be inventory above, so if you're long, put your sell orders out, okay? Make sure your sell orders are out. There we go. right? You see there's a constant seller here. Look, there we go. There we go. So now if your orders weren't out, then you missed it. If you were long 89.90, or sorry, 90, I should say, and you didn't have a 92 half seller, well, why wouldn't you, right? You should be selling into this, right? You know there's going to be a seller at VWAP. You know, if you're long 90, you should be selling. You should be pretty much out by 94. Maybe if you want to hold one for 96, there you go. It's changing, Milo. The market's changing. I told you guys the market would change. And guess what? It'll change again when we go into September. Now, if we stick VWAP, we're going to rotate all the way back up to 7603. Okay? So all Mr. Trump did was he helped us correct inventory, and he helped some people get some really nice cheap product under 75.92. Lots of peeps short. Peeps. What is this little bull? What are you talking about, Milo? Long is hard. Business slow with these candles. Lots of peep short. I'm trying to figure out your what you're saying. Yes, there are a lot of people that are short. That's true. Like the marshmallows. Like the marshmallows at the country club there, Elsie and Rye. How's your polo pony, Elsie? How was polo this weekend? How do we know when we are cheap versus premium? Oh, great question. Right. And good questions, guys. One sec. Well, that's why you use these colored zones. So this is the cost basis from Friday. 2 times profit, 4 times profit, 8 times profit, 2 times discount, 4 times discount. That's how we tell, really, cheap versus expensive. How come all people always talk strategy, but nobody talks psychology? Because in business, in real trading X Rebel, psychology is really not a thing. It's actually not strategy that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the business and what's actually happening. And if you know what's actually happening, then you don't need as much psychology. So it's like having a brain surgeon go, I need a lot of psychology, otherwise I'm going to kill all these people. That's not good, right? Psychology is an overplayed hand in trading. I have nothing against it. But if you know what you're doing, I'm just trying to be pragmatic and common sense, right? It's you can talk probabilities, there's nothing wrong with that. How do you trade a probability, right? You actually have to know the mechanics of how a business works. It's surprising that nobody talks about this stuff. This is a business. This chart is a sales chart. It's showing the acquisition and distribution of inventory. People don't even talk about that. So you can tell that they're just out to lunch. That's why no one's making any money, because they have no clue what the hell they're doing. Then they fall back on psychology. I had this childhood drama that's keeping me from being a successful trader. No, it just happens you're shorting the lows and buying the highs. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't need a psychologist. You need to learn some shit, right? You're out to lunch, right? You have no clue how a market works. You don't need a psychologist, right? You need somebody to tell you how a market works and how to execute around it. right? It's a business. You don't see bakers and doctors going to psychologists. Hey, AZS, what's going on? All right. Sure. If you're a fund manager and you're having a bad quarter, sure, that's where trading psychology came from. Retail traders don't need trading psychologists. They need to, they actually just need to learn how to trade. That's all it is. It's pretty simple. How's your summer, AZS? How you doing? You're not blowing up accounts because of psychology. You're blowing up accounts because you have no clue what the hell you're doing. Yeah, that's all it is. Keep it simple. We'll teach you. The good thing is we can teach you how to do this, and you don't need a PhD. Come check it out. We're there every day. You got to really be patient and wait for your setup, you know? That's really the key thing. You got to really wait for when the business is appropriate for you. And I am done for the day. Thanks, everyone. Have a great trading day. Stay out of trouble. Don't take candy from strange market makers. Come join us at Trading Syndicate if you want to learn how to do this without pulling out your hair. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. Thanks for being with us. Much appreciated.